Good evening, friends. I know the markets are challenging, and that's the nature of the market. I know many of you must be having really perplexed now what needs to be done. ये market में क्या करें? What should be your strategy in this market? I think it's a, if you rewind and if I was talking in front of you in month of September and today 13 November, in last 43 days, there's a complete U-turn in the market sentiment. People are literally confused what needs to be done. And when I say people, that includes even the experts in the market. So what I'm trying to do is today, I'm going to present some data in front of you. Try to consume those data. Am I right? And try to consume that data. And then if you have a question, please ask me. But my request, please listen to me very carefully. If you don't listen to me today carefully, there is a probability that you may not perform well in the next 12 months. So listen to me very carefully. And then if you have any questions, post that. I'll be more than happy to answer that. And in fact, I told Amir today, we will try to extend this webinar as far as possible so that we can pick up almost each and every question. If it is question is repetitive, definitely it will not get picked up. If it is a company specific, definitely it will not get picked up. But if you have a very question which pertains to the market, pertains to the sector, pertains to the economy, I'll be more than happy to answer that. But before the disclaimer, this webinar is just to enhance your understanding of the equity market. Please consult a financial advisor before buying or selling any stock. Past performance is no indicator of future returns, and investment in securities are subject to market risk. Now, if you remember, I've been keep talking about the sector rotation. What I've done, I have tried to look at, and of course, this data does not include 13 November. That is today. Market has really taken a beating. So this data has not been taken to as of today. But look at in the first half, which sector did extremely well from July till now? IT. Did it participate? Answer is no. It was only up by 1.8%. But pharma, which did well in the first half and continued to going rock solid even in the second half. Okay, and then if you look at other sectors are all struggling to close in the green. Nifty services up by 3 point. BSE small cap. I don't know whether if I include today, would it be in a green or not? I don't know. But Nifty consumer margin and Nifty financial up. FMCG, which was negative, is 0.3. What happened to the realty index, which was one of the best performing sector, is the now worst performing in the second half. Energy, which was like everyone was gung-ho about energy, down by 10%. PSU Bank, and if you remember, I've been kept saying that we were holding one of the PSU Bank in our PMS. We exited at the right time. The script is down by the index is down by 8.4. Nifty Auto, one of the high flying, 35% in the first half, down by 7.7. Metal looks promising because of China factor, but look at it, still struggling. And PAC, 36%, 6.7. So there's completely reversal of the fortune of many of the sectors. Now the question arises, why BSE small cap, which is still in the green at 2.8, but if you look at the Nifty 50, which is down, the Sensex, which is down, and even if you look at the mid cap, which is down by 1.9%. So should we expect small cap and the mid cap to correct from this level? The probability is very, very high. Today I was there on CNBC Bazaar, and if you happen to listen, if you understand Gujarati, please listen to that commentary I had given to the CNBC Bazaar in the morning. The anchor asked me about the mid and small cap, and I answered her, how do I see this mid and small cap? Probability is very high that mid and small cap can underperform going forward. The reason is very simple. I think somewhere that story of momentum, buying any company at any valuation within the mid and small cap, I don't think that's going to be the nature going forward. You have to be extremely careful when you get into the mid and small cap. Remember, some of the good quality mid and small cap have also taken a beating. So if the good quality companies have taken a beating, there is a high probability they may bounce back. Like some of our stock of the week. But if the company's fundamentals does not merit, I'm afraid they may not be participating in the next leg of rally. So mid and small cap are likely to underperform going forward. I'm not saying all companies, so that's where the stock selection is of the paramount importance. And my request to all of you, I happened to speak to one of the investors. He was literally crying. Whatever gain he had made, he is completely wiped out. He gone little overboard with the mid and small cap, thinking the story which is there will continue, did not. I know some investors have taken a leverage, thinking that market में 35% तो आराम से बनता है. The cost of borrowing is only 12%. Why not to borrow money? These realities are coming now and surfacing now. So please be careful. We do expect market to remain little volatile. I am giving you hard facts and data in front of you. Of course, this opinion of mine is a personal, but I am stating what I believe personally is going to happen. I am not trying to scare you. What I am trying to say is that be careful. Your due diligence, which I have been kept saying time and again, of buying a stock has to go up by 2x. It was easy thing, kuch bhi le lo, without due diligence you would have made money. Is it going to continue going forward? The answer is no. I am not at all asking you to get out of the market. If you have the money, please put it in tranches. But stock selection has to be very careful. This is not the market to get out. In fact, I listened very nice. Someone forwarded me yesterday interview given by Vijay Kedia in one of the business channels. And he said a very nice thing, and I really liked the way he spoke about it. What did he say? I have two options in this market. I buy and the script goes down by 15-20%. Other option is that I don't buy and the script goes up by 15 to 20%. In both the cases, I will have a regrets. He said, I'm happy to live with the regrets number one, where I buy the company and script goes down by 15-20%. I'm happy to live with that first regrets, not the second one. Because no one has been able to time the market on the downside. And hence, what I'm requesting all of you, not to panic. I again repeat, not to panic. Remain calm, remain composed, but due diligence on the stock has to be of the paramount importance. Isn't it? And the sector rotation gives you that information. We have a tendency, जो चला है वो चलने वाला है. That's the assumption, recency bias. और जो नहीं चला है वो नहीं चलेगा आगे जाके. Again, that's all recency bias. My request to all of you, don't be victims of that. Second thing, don't assume that the script has fallen by 30%. The valuations become attractive, let me buy that company. Who knows? It company can further fall. Who knows? That company can have a time corrections. So first thing you need to figure it out. The scrip has fallen by 30%. Is it due to the change in the fundamental factor of that company, or it is just because of the poor market sentiment? If it is because of the change in the fundamental factor, please do not try to chase that company. But it's purely because of the poor market sentiment, please go ahead and buy. Am I right? So that's the, I want to convey this. Now, second thing I want to tell you. Even I was under the impression, and I'll be very candid in front of you, I thought since this mutual fund industry is sitting on a cash pile, they would have used the fall in the market in the month of October to use that cash pile. They would have started buying more as the market has corrected. But did they do it? The answer is no. In the month of September, the total cash pile with the mutual fund industry was 1.94 lakh crore. It has marginally come down to 1.92 lakh crore. These two data, hardly they. So they've not yet used their cash pile to buy in the market. Now, someone would ask why. I think one of the reasons could be they still believe the market can further go down. And that's the reason they've not started buying in the dip in this market. But story doesn't end there. Let's look at the most famous investors in the world, Mr. Warren Buffett. And when I look at the data, it also surprised me. The cash on hand with the Berkshire today when he said in last 1 week would have been $311 billion US dollar. Total equity holding value is only 300 billion. In other words, his cash holding as compared to equity holding is much higher. In total market value, that is the market cap of Berkshire, is about $1 trillion US dollar. He is constantly selling in Apple, but somewhere is now redeploying the funds. So again, he believes in the US market, while the complete sentiment has undergone change in the US after Trump coming in, and I'm going to put that data in front of you, but he is not buying. I don't know whether he's right or wrong. My job is to give you the hard facts. I think everyone seems to be of the opinion there could be more downside pain. Where it ends, how much it ends, this one, no one has clear handle on that. कोई आपको बोल के श्योरिटी से बोलेगा ना यही होने वाला है, don't be fooled. Don't get fooled by them. In fact, there's someone has said very nice thing, actually, and I really like that statement that someone has made. Let me just read out if I can get that statement. About who is more sure and who are more tentative. Someone has said the beauty in this. Let me just see if I can get that statement. Basically, the problem in this world is that the intelligence are not sure, and those who are not so very, very sure of. The 1 minute. What are the okay, I'm not getting it right now, but there is a very this one. Let me try to figure it out next time if I come in front of you. Maybe I'll try to figure it out what that pure is, because I want to be exactly verbatim. Okay, but I'm not getting it that this one. Okay, I'm not getting it right now, but I'll definitely try to present in front of you next time. So today I think some of the people are still believe that there is a more pain could be there in the market, especially in the mid and small cap. I again repeat, I don't see large cap can fall further, but the downside pressure could be more in the mid and small cap. Trump coming in is not reflecting in this, it's not helping Indian market to improve. In fact, when I surprised, the Chinese market has done better. This is despite the fact that Trump is going to take a very hard stand against the Chinese. If you look at the Chinese SSE composite, is up by 3.63%. The Russian market is up by 10.27%, much better than the. There's one more data point I wanted you to focus on. Well, I do believe that mid and small caps are going to struggle in India, but you look at in the US, the small cap, which is Russell 2000, seems to have done better as compared to large cap, even including Nasdaq, which is up by 4.17%. The Russell is up by 5.8%. But Germany is down, England is down, and of course, Indian market Sensex and Nifty are down. So somewhere there is a disconnect happening between the Indian market and the US market, and including even the Chinese market, which is up. Now, in the US, the risk-on strategy is on? It looks like. We saw small cap doing better than the large cap in the US market. We saw, look at the Bitcoin. 69,386 jumped to 86,820. Almost 25% jump in 8 or 9 days. Whatever I have studied and whatever I observed and whatever I have learned in this industry, something that goes up too quickly is bound to fall, whether we like it or not. So in case if you are betting more on Bitcoins, and of course there are stories happening in the market which says that it will go to $1 lakh per Bitcoins, I think that gives me a fear of a exuberance. If I have to come again in front of you 3 months down the line, that is on 13 November, December, January, February, or maybe 13 Feb, probability is very high that Bitcoins would have been lower than this level. So there is some amount of exuberance that has come in because Trump is going to do this, Trump is going to do that. People are forgetting one fact, that bond yield in the US market is on the rise. If keep rising, what does it mean? People can switch from equity to the debt. It is not that, and remember, if Trump is going to do the walk the talk, deficits are going to balloon. The borrowings are going to balloon. And if that is so, can it sustain them? I think we are living in a very interesting time. Today, even yesterday we got India inflation, today US inflation will come in. I've taken some data and I've used those baskets which are the staple in our everyone's life. 3 चीज, कौन सा भी कास्ट हो, कौन सा भी रिलीजन हो, कौन सा भी सब कास्ट हो, 3 चीज तो कहीं ना कहीं एक आदमी यूज करता है. Tomatoes, potatoes and the onion. बाकी कोई चीज न भी खाए आदमी, because it can vary. Some people from south may not eat wheat, people from north not eat rice. I'm just giving an example. Of course, not that is not. Some Jains may not use onion, but they still use consume tomatoes. Am I right? So irrespective of caste, creed, religion, these 3 things are people are going to consume. Look at the Y-on-Y food inflation. Tomatoes price as compared to last October is up by 115%. Potatoes are up by 50%. Onion are up by 44%. Pulses, which is normally been consumed by 14%. And nothing can be cooked without edible oil. Up by 11%. Y-on-Y. Now with this kind of food inflation, should we expect RBI to oblige with the rate cuts? The answer is no. Fed did 50 bips rate cut. Fed did in the month of November 25, another bips rate cut, 75 cumulative. RBI have not moved the needle also. Should we expect the next meeting may a rate cut? Answer is clearly no. The first rate cut, if at all it has to happen, will happen now post-budget. Because inflation is remaining little sticky. And of course, I'll now summarize everything once my presentation is over, what the message I am trying to convey with these data points. What happened to the indices last 1 week? Except Bank Nifty, everything is in the red. Small cap index is down by 7.2% in 1 week. Mid cap is down by 6%. See the fall. It's almost the double of the large cap. Isn't it? And if you look at the realty index, 7.3 in 1 week, and auto is on the bottom of the table is 8.5. And due to this, when you look at the YTD, now the small cap is up by 21%, which is still in the green. I think some gain will take off. Mid cap again 19. If I would not be surprised if they, by the year end, we should see both these indices having gain in the single digit. Anyway, Nifty and Sensex are both in the single digit. And the one index which is in the YTD is on pharma. I think it's a mistake. Pharma cannot be in the red. I think there is some mistake that has happened by my analyst to put this, because Nifty pharma did extremely well in the first and second half. So why it can be in the red? I think there is a mistake in that data. I think there is some mistake. FII, 21,000 crore on the top of almost 1 lakh crore in the month of October. They are selling. And due to this, if you look at in 2024, the YTD FPI selling is 14,475 crore. In other words, what was looking extremely good, another year of a good FPI inflow till September, completely. So that's the two things I wanted to, there's a learning there. We all tend to believe it has happened very well till first 9 months. So be it for the rest of the 3 months. Then FPI proved us that theory wrong. Now the question comes to mind, how long do we expect the FPI to keep selling? Will they keep selling every month 1 lakh? I don't think so. 1 lakh crore, I mean to say. Somewhere this will get stopped. I think the most probably, see, there is one more thing which is also playing a factor with FPI selling. Rupee depreciation. So what happens when they try to convert that gain into dollar? Because of rupee depreciating, it takes away that gain. My sense is that I think FPIs are waiting for the, especially Maharashtra Assembly election. As you are aware, next Wednesday, markets are closed. Why? Because of election in Maharashtra. And market will wait whether the incumbent government is able to retain power or not. For some reason it is not, FPI may continue their selling. May not be as aggressive that what they did in the month of October. I don't expect another 1 lakh kind of outflow from the FPI in the month of November. But we don't see much bigger positive numbers coming in. Why? Because it's going to, the alliance partner of the BJP itself will become more aggressive with the BJP. BJP ability to push reforms will get blunted, and then government will be forced to dole out more populist measures to maintain the popularity. So these are the factors. So now what I'm trying to say now, before we open the floor for this one. Why the market is down? because of FPI heavy selling. Why markets are down? Because of poor earnings coming in from the India Inc. But it's not only the poor earnings for the quarter ended September, even the commentary for the December quarter doesn't look very, very promising. So that's also making market little jittery. Okay, why is that happening? Third thing, other emerging markets are showing some amount of a hope for the foreign investors, and they see there is a more opportunity. And that's one reason. And then I think somewhere market is getting a sense that since inflation is going to remain little sticky, rate cut in 2024 is out of the probable scenario. And that's also not helping market to do that. Of course, last but not the least, I think SEBI coming out with the measures to curb the excess speculative element is somewhere also playing its part. And summation of all this makes me believe that we should expect some amount of volatility in the rest of 2024. Of course, I'll come in front of you with my equity outlook for 2025, either in the last week of December or in the first week of January. Do expect just to summarize, medium small cap to be more volatile as compared to large cap. While medium and small cap are looking positive, showing good gains, YTD, my sense is that they would most probably would give gains in the single digit, not in the double digit. These are all my personal opinion. So please take it with the pinch of salt with this where FPIs are selling. I think that question someone was asked me. This 1 lakh crore they sold in the month of October, where did they sell? The biggest brunt has been faced by financial services. 26,139 crore. Oil, gas and consumable fuels, 21,444 crore. Followed by FMCG purely because of poor commentary, then auto, 10,000 crore, and then consumer service. And these are the where FPIs sold very heavily, and that's why that 1 lakh crore that you saw in the month of October is all function of these other sectors. With this, let's open the floor for question answer. Bindesh sir, is it a right time to invest in PMS? Yes sir, no time is a bad time provided you don't need these funds for next 3 years. If you want the funds in next 3 years, then you should never invest in the PMS, whether it's the right time or the wrong time. So there are two questions. You don't need the funds for next 3 years, please come to PMS. You are not borrowing money to invest in PMS, then please come. And you can stomach the volatility, then please come to the PMS. But if these answers are yes, please come and invest in PMS. I must make an announcement here. Last 12 months, the retail investors made more money than the professional fund manager. Next 12 months, that's not going to be the case. Somewhere recency bias will come in, somewhere strong stock allocations will come in, sector allocation will come in, and due to that, you may not be able to, someone asked me today, one of our investors, should I take portfolio approach or should I take a stock specific approach? And my advice was portfolio approach. PMS is a portfolio approach. Why? It takes into consideration market cap exposure. It takes into consideration the sectoral exposure. It takes into consideration the single stock exposure. It takes into consideration the tail stock exposure. So it's basically more a polished strategy from a single stock approach. And hence PMS, if you wish to come in PMS, please come. I think the time is right. Yes, there will be some amount of volatility in next couple of months. If you can brace that volatility, as I told you, Vijay Kedia, I was not aware that we are going to ask this question. He said that, am I right? I would rather not have a regrets. He said two regrets. I buy and the script goes down by 15-20%. Other option is that I don't buy and the script goes up by 50-20%. He said I would prefer to live with the regret number 1. So if you can afford to live with the regret number 1, well, the script can go down by 15, your portfolio can go down by certain percentage, please come and invest in PMS. Satyugna sir is saying, when will this bloodbath in stock markets end? Is this the bloodbath? I think that you are basically, I don't think there is a bloodbath in the market. Let's be very honest with this. Yes, there has been a correction in the market. There is no bloodbath, sir. Bloodbath कभी होता है जो सितंबर 2008 में हुआ था, जो मार्च 2020 में हुआ था, 2020 में हुआ था. There is no bloodbath in this market. If there is no bloodbath, where is the question of its ending? रिंकू सर ने सवाल पूछा हिंदी में, प्रणाम, जैसा विदित है कि मार्केट में करेक्शन के दौरान पहले स्मॉल कैप गिरते, फिर मिड कैप, अंत में लार्ज कैप, ये क्या नियम अभी भी काम करने की उम्मीद है? तो पहले मैं उस सवाल का जवाब दे दूं आपको. मैं हिंदी में ही बताऊंगा बिकॉज आपने सवाल हिंदी में बताया, मुझे पूछा है. तो इस बार क्या हुआ है, थोड़े लार्ज कैप ज़्यादा गिरे, मिड एंड स्मॉल कैप थोड़े कम गिरे हैं. आगे चल के ये लग रहा है कि थोड़े लार्ज कैप में थोड़ी गिरावट कम होगी और मिड और स्मॉल कैप में ज़्यादा गिरावट होगी. वर्तमान में मार्केट कैप टू जीडीपी की क्या स्थिति है? सर मैंने अभी तक जो लेटेस्ट डेटा अभी तक देखे नहीं, पर मेरा जो अंदाज़ा है वो 140% होगा मार्केट कैप टू जीडीपी. साथ ही एक अन्य प्रश्न भी है कि स्टॉक ऑफ द वीक से संबंधित है. इसमें ये कई स्टॉक्स 40% तक गिर गए. इस संबंध में इन्वेस्टर क्या करना चाहिए? जहाँ तक मेरा अनुमान है रिंकू जी, कोई भी स्टॉक ऑफ द वीक 40% तक तो नहीं गिरा है. लेकिन समझ लो कि आपकी बात में मान लूँ कि कोई एक स्टॉक शायद गिरा भी हो 40%, वो कंपनी की जो दी हुई है स्टॉक ऑफ द वीक में हमारी टीम ने, काफ़ी सबल कंपनी है. उनमें फंडामेंटल रीज़न से वाई, इसीलिए उस कंपनी को उन्होंने चुनी हुई है. तो अगर वो गिरी हुई है और आपने उसको होल्ड करके रखे हुए हैं, आपको कोई टेंशन लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. फिर किसी वजह से अगर हमारी टीम समझती है कि उसमें से निकल जाना चाहिए, हमारी टीम आपको आके बताएगी कि इस कंपनी से भी आप प्लीज़ निकल जाइए. तब तक उस कंपनी में आप बने रहिए. वो मेरी आपको गुजारिश है. Tapan is saying earlier used to happen webinar on a regular basis, but nowadays only once in a while. What is your reason? Even except a few speakers' quality also deteriorated. Any chance to improve in future? So Tapan sir, we are doing webinar on a daily basis. On Monday, Mohit was in front of you with the stock of the month. In fact, Mohit was twice on Monday. He came in front of you in the morning with the stock of the week. He came in front of you in the evening with the stock of the month. Yesterday we had webinar where stocks got added in this one. Today I'm in front of you. Tomorrow again I'll be in front of our PMS customer, because on Thursdays exclusively for the PMS investors. And of course Friday is a holiday, so there will not be any webinar. But normally I'm in front of you at least twice in a week. I can't be coming every day now, because what has happened, Tapanji, a couple of things has happened. When everyone was working from home, it was making a lot of sense for us to do to do webinar every day. What we have realized is that people have started now getting busy. Some marriage is there, so people are busy with the marriage preparation. People are now started going back to work. So when we are doing a webinar, they cannot attend because there is a commuting at that time. And number 3, people have got other things to do now, which is basically, and that's the reason people, even attendance has come down as compared to what used to be there. Anyway, there is nothing that daily I can come in front of you and keep sharing that, because the views remain the same almost, unless some new data point comes in and which forces us to change our opinion than what we have been telling you in that front. And quality of speakers has deteriorated. I'm not very sure, sir. I think the quality of speakers remain same. Jason again is making a comeback. He's come back to join. I think from next week onwards, he will again be part of that. So I think again that in case at all, if you think the quality has deteriorated to some extent, I think that will get corrected by Jason coming in. But otherwise, Jason will be there, I'll be there, Mohit will be there in front of you. And that's how it is basically. But if you think, Tapanji, that we should do every day webinar, I think it will do too much, because even if I come in front of you, I need to have something new to talk in front of you. If I don't have something new to, again, you will get bored listening to the same thing again and again. But point taken, we will see whatever best we can do that, and you have taken your feedback in all seriousness. What best we can further improve the quality, rest of us will do that. But are you referring to that my data points are deteriorating in terms of, please mention so. Others can also mention, not Tapanji only, everyone else can mention that. Is by presentation data are not living up to the standard what you are expecting? Please say so. I'll further try to improve upon that. Srinivas Senoy sir, can we buy small and mid caps that have declared positive or very positive reason have buy rating on markets even after today's case? Yes, sir. Please go ahead and buy. Nothing to worry at all. Because again I said, while we do believe the mid and small cap can, when I say we, I believe that mid and small cap can correct index, but within that peg, the good quality companies can basically do very well. So please continue to, if you're not bought, please buy that. There is no harm in that. Durgesh sir saying, could you please enlighten us how to just a $10 billion FI outflow is hitting so hard the $5 trillion economic market. The market is extremely disproportionate to the actual FPI outflow. Well, absolutely right, sir, Durgesh sir. See, try to understand, and it's a very beautiful question that you ask. What is the FPI holding in India Inc? We are near about 450 lakh crore market cap, mota. FPI must be holding near about 16-17%. I'm just giving a ballpark figure. So 450 ka 16% will give me 450. So 45 plus 16, so 250. So 45 near about and maybe 5 near about 22. So maybe 60-70 lakh crore, mota. They sold only 1.5 lakh crore. It's not that FI completely stole lock, stock and barrel from the Indian equity market. So if you look at the total FPI selling of the total holding in India is just a minuscule. So now your question is very interesting. Then why is that market has been taken so badly? I think a couple of reasons. It's not only the function of FPI selling. Of course, that's one reason. But somewhere the commentary from the India has been quite poor. There is a question mark about how the RBI going to cut the rate of interest. And number 3, the SEBI taken measures to reduce the excess speculation element is also working. So it's a culmination of not only one factor but couple of factors. And sometimes 1 plus 1 doesn't make 2, sometimes it makes 11. And that's the reason market has been a disproportionate impact you are seeing. If you happen to listen to my webinar, Durgesh sir, which I talk about the equity outlook, and I've shown the data that how since June, the volume on the cash segment has been constant decline. And that shows the level of interest. FI were not selling. Am I right? They were buyer till September. But the volume on the market has been falling. July was lower than what it was in the month of June. August was lower than what it was in the month of July. September was lower than what it was in the month of August. So I think somewhere the factors which are macros, which are more regulatory related, has started impacting the sentiment. And that's the reason we are seeing this kind of a corrections in the market. I hope that answers your question, Durgesh sir. How many people say that my data points are little deteriorated, that's why they see the quality is an issue? कुछ लिखा है अमिल? Okay, ठीक है. Harshat Kale sir, is it advisable to hold on to cash for present? Your webinar on financial ratios and the user screen stocks is still awaited. Harshat ji, you are right actually. I think I'll request now, Jason has come back, so maybe I'll ask him to do a webinar on financial ratios. Just Amir remind me, I think we should ask him. And is it advisable to hold on to cash for present? Not really, if you ask me, Harshat ji. Okay, the people, those who are investing in our PMS and they want to do AI. So, what advice I'm giving you the same advice to you too, sir. If your portfolio value is 1 crore, I'm giving an example. And if you want to put money less than 25 lakhs, please go ahead and invest at one go. But if it is more than 25 lakhs, then I'm saying put some 50% now, 50% after 2 months. So now, you decide what cash percentage you have of the equity portfolio that you have. With less than 25%, please invest. If it is more than 25%, then invest in 2 tranches. One now, balance after 2 months. Rajendra, happy Bijoy to you. I don't know, sir, what is happy Bijoy, but I'll take this wishes of yours. Thanks a lot. Why market is bleeding too much? Is there any end? What is your view on hotel sector? So I think very interesting question on hotel sector. Is the bleeding too much? Not really, sir. We are still YTD in the green. Whether it's a large cap, whether it's a small cap, whether it's a mid cap, we are in green. So you know, हमारा problem क्या है ना? कोई चीज ऊपर का थोड़ा गिरती है तो we said bleeding. But that's the nature of the market. No market can keep going up. There will be corrections, healthy corrections. These are needed, and I'm very happy they just come. Is there an end? Definitely there will be an end. But next couple of months, we do expect market to remain volatile. We do expect some more pains in the mid and small cap. Now coming to the last part of it, what is your view on the hotel sector? You know, I was looking at some data point, and there is a huge amount of debate happening on the social media. One definitely about the Goa. One, leave aside Goa. Somewhere I think Indian market hit in hotel sector seems a very good time. I think the rates that some of the hotel are charging per room have become too much exorbitant. Now what is going to, it's going to become a counterproductive. In the short run, it will look extremely good because hotel वालों को अच्छा पैसा मिल रहा है. But people have now start looking at outside India. 3 of my friends, we were discussing about it. He said, Sunil, to go outside India is sometimes becoming more cheaper than to travel within India. Why? Because your airfare has gone up too much. Your hotels are asking you to pay too much. Then why should we go outside India? The cost is cheaper. Number one. Number two, expenses are different. So somewhere, you know, this Modi government had this vision of, you know, promoting the tourism. I think is moving the wrong direction altogether. Somewhere we have to really think aloud, can we sustain this kind of a hotel rates? I'll give a classical example. I need to go very often to the Lucknow because my daughter is studying in Lucknow. And I stayed one particular property which is a 5-star property every time. When I'm planning to visit now next month, the rate for that hotel is 23,000 per night. Should I pay that kind of a rate to that hotel, which is almost now 3x of what I used to pay in the past? hotel remains the same. How does it justify 3x more? Now I don't have a choice but to go to Lucknow because my daughter is studying there. But think someone who is going on a pleasure tour, he will think for a different tourist destination only. So somewhere I think government has to really act here. Okay, should we allow, because it's going to become counterproductive now. Hotel company will make good money in the short run, but this will be counterproductive in the medium to long run. Why should I basically pay that? That's a question mark that I am asking myself. So yes, there is a patriotism, you should basically explore and so on and so forth. But then how long will you do that? Like government wanted wedding to be happen in India. Now someone says, boss, if I do wedding outside India, it's turning out to be much cheaper with the better quality. Then what's the reason for me to do it in India? Am I right? So I think that's a destination wedding I'm talking about. So I think these are the questions I think the sector need to really think through. I think somewhere the industry has become, hotel players have become little myopic in their approach. We need more supply to come in to reduce this kind of prices. And if you don't agree with me, please put it and I'll be more than happy to. What is your experience with the hotel sector? Do you also see similar kind of an experience where hotel rates have gone through the roof? And if that is so, would you be comfortable doing that? I think the remedy to the high price is high price, am I right? And that's exactly what is happening. Somewhere I think these prices are not sustainable. And if that is so, my sense is the hotel sector can underperform. In fact, I was one person who was extremely bullish on the tourism sector. But somehow I think the players within the industry are behaving little in a immature manner. And I think that's going to basically create a problem for them. Jacob Jose, you had a target of 19,000 of correction and then you changed your mind when the bull run was on. What is your view now? So, sir, the Nifty 19,000 I stated when I presented my equity outlook in January 2024. And at that point of time, I suggested the downside risk to the Nifty 50 is 19,000. Someone asked me a couple of months back and he asked me, do you basically, I don't know whether you only sir or someone else, asked me that, do I still believe? And at that point of time, when I said, looking at the market condition as of now, I don't believe the Nifty can go to 19,000 level. Even if you ask today, when the sentiments are a little poor, because when the question was asked last time, the sentiments were better. I don't think I expect Nifty to go down to 19,000 level. Purely because if Nifty has to go to 19,000, I think we are seeing a substantial correction from this level, which I don't believe is going to happen. So my sense, and if you go back to that, my prediction at that time, my prediction for the year end was -5 to +5. I still believe that is the range we should see the close of Nifty 50 by December 2024. This is what I hope that answers your question, sir. Venkateswara sir, greetings. During the past 1.5 months, I have almost lost all profit, about 30%. Oh, very bad. I had accumulated. Should I book whatever little profit I have now and reduce the exposure by selling a few stocks? Mostly, I have only Mojo stocks. Kindly advise. Also, please let me know in case if I want to contact you or Dr. Mohit on urgent advice. What are the contact number? Thanks in advance. So let me answer the second part first, Venkateswara sir. I think the best way you can reach out to us is to the support@marketsmojo.com. In case if you are our Mojo PMS customer, you can reach out to a respective RM and they will help us to get in touch with us. But I'm sorry, sir. Neither Mohit nor I will be able to share our mobile numbers because that becomes a real big headache for us. In fact, most of the time we are busy in our meetings or busy in some other work, and sometimes we miss out on a phone calls, and then you will feel we people become little arrogant not receiving your phone calls also. So some mobile phone sharing would be practically not possible. I'll be very honest with you. In fact, I don't share my mobile number even to our PMS customers. None of our PMS customers have my mobile number. They may have Mohit's mobile number, but not mine, because I've taken a conscious decision not to sell my mobile number. So I hope that answers the last part of your question. But please do reach out to Right to Support, and we will definitely try to respond to as early as possible. So please don't be in a distress. My request would be that we do have a team, we do have a system where you can write to us, and our team will, or you call us on our number that is available on the site, and they will try to answer if they can. In case they are not able to answer, I'll come in front of you and answer your query. So don't worry about that. So we are reachable, but not maybe through our personal mobile number. Now coming to the first part of your question. If you are holding mojo stocks, not to worry at all. Remain calm and composed, because I do good quality companies. Again, I repeat, take portfolio approach rather than stock specific approach, because I don't know which mojo stock you bought, what allocation you did, how much you allocated to small cap, mid cap, large cap. I think, see, the ultimately model portfolio consists of a mojo stock. So I think my request would be as follows. Please follow model portfolio concept, because that's more better strategy than the single stock approach. So, but having said that, not to panic. If you're holding mojo stock, continue to hold at appropriate time. We do advise a sell also. The mojo stock, the theory which I've explained time and again, how to exit from the mojo stock. When the score goes below 60, if the script is falling, please get out. Even if the score goes below 60, but the script is going up, no need to exit. Very simple formula. So any of the stock that you're holding right now, if the score is below 60 and they're falling, please exit from that, even though they were once upon a time a mojo stock. But the score is 60 and above, and if they are, if 60 and above, you don't do anything. But if it goes below 60 and above, but still script is rising, where is the question of getting out of that? Don't do that. Frank, why the stock market's Trump bump could become a Trump dump? It has already become dump. Your opinion? I don't know whether it has become a Trump dump or not. The US market doesn't seem to be, that the Bitcoin market doesn't seem to be. So why are you saying Trump dump? But having said that, I did mention, Frank ji, that I do believe that kind of rally that we have seen in the Bitcoins doesn't look like sustainable. I think we should see a healthy correction in that. But even the market seems to be, somewhere we'll start looking at the yield, debt, the yield, bond yield which has gone up, I think could be, can spoil the party even in the US. GSSN Srinivasa sir is saying, what are the key takeaway from the US election? Is there anything go your bet for our market? I don't know, sir. What is this go your what? Sorry, my vocabulary is not so powerful. So what are the key takeaways from the US election? I think the big takeaway is that, everyone was expecting to be a very tough competition between the Kamala Harris and the Trump. It seems like it's a one-way, completely landslide victory that Trump has got it. Number one. Number two, I think the key takeaway is that we would see more, protection coming in from the US, whether in terms of throwing out illegal immigrants, increasing the import duty on the goods which is reaching the US shore. And number three, the deficit increasing. Now, how much walk the talk the Trump does it, we will know only once he assumed the office. But some amount of statement he has made thus gives an indication that there will be walk the talk. He is also talking about reduction in the corporate tax, which can expand the EPS for the US. Dollar can strengthen in the near future. That could create some pressure on the emerging markets. So these are the major takeaways from the US election. But sometimes what looks on a temporary basis may not get sustained on a longer basis. Am I right? So my sense is that don't read too much. Look at the India fundamental story. Look at the Indian companies which are doing well and are likely to do well. For example, private sector banks, do they have any correlation with what happens in the US market? The probability is a little low. Will Indian IT companies will not do well? They will definitely do well. In fact, if you remember, I presented some data, I don't know whether it was with you or the PMS customer, where I presented that when the Trump was the president last time, the Nasdaq did extremely well, and Indian Nifty IT companies did extremely well. Something similar can also happen this time. So that's why there is no change in the story. FMCG companies are today down and out. Will they get impacted because of the US election? The answer is no. Am I right? So I think start looking at the story, because you don't know what Trump will do. That is beyond your control. But you know, even if Trump does something, what can impact to the domestic companies or domestic sector in India? Focus on that, because you can only focus on which is in your hand. Which is beyond your control, you can't focus. So why to then basically make an attempt also? So I believe the domestic theme continues to play very well. And I think that's how I would like to play. So this is a very major takeaway you should look at it. Xavier Fernandez, hi Sunil, so hope you're well. With all the negativity going in the market, when do you see improvements coming in GDP growth? The Indian earnings and inflation cool off. And when do you think most likely our lovely RBI plans cutting rates? As usual, thanks for your advice and time, sir. So Xavier said, I think I've covered almost every point that you talked about. RBI rate cut doesn't look like before next budget. Most probably, if it has to happen, maybe happen in the month of February. So don't expect any rate cut in 2024, because the inflation data are little, there is a belief and there is a hope that inflation can cool up, because of winter normally is a good month for the food inflation to cool down. So we hope that happens basically. Indian earnings thus gives the impression that December quarter also may not be so great. A lot of hope is on the marriage season. For some reason, if the marriage season is good, I think it will lift the earnings of the India Inc. We need to wait and watch. In fact, yesterday I was reading one article that during the festive time, mobile phone sales was not so great. We need to wait and watch what happens. I think we will wait for the November month auto sales. Why I'm saying so? Because October turned out to be a very good month. Does it get carry forward post festive season? Will be very critically market will watch. We will also watch and see what AC Nielsen data comes on the FMCG sector. Is the urban growth coming back or not? And these will all culminate into GDP growth. It's not that GDP is not growing in Indian market. Am I right? Of course, the second quarter GDP data may not be as good as what the first quarter GDP data were actually. But it's there in the price. It's not that in the price. It's not that so market normally reacts what it is not discounted. I think GDP growth data is already there in the price. Indian earnings is already there in the price. RBI not doing rate cut is there in the price. If it is more than what it is expected, is that if that happens, and I think market can react negatively. My sense is that market is likely to be a little choppy for next couple of months, and there could be more pain in the mid and small cap. In terms of my time and advice, it's my job, it's my duty. I'm not doing any favor to you people. I see this is my duty to come in front of you, and whatever little knowledge I have, I will try to share that, and will keep doing that, sir. So I'm not doing any favor to any of you. Yeah, I'm doing this is as a part of my duty. Rohit is saying, is this now the right time to put more money into equities, or is it further 10% or so correction is possible? Do we wait and watch or start reinvesting now? If you have money, don't need for next 3 years, please put it. Is this the right time? I don't know, sir. There is nothing called right time. And the best of the best experts has not been able to define right time. What I am doing, I'll tell you very frankly. If I have money, I'm putting money into the equity market. Okay. Of course, my stock selection has become, due diligence has gone double X. Again, if it is less than 25% equity holding, please invest now. If it is more than 25% in money, please invest in 2 tranches. That means invest now and balance 50% after 2 months. That's how I'm suggesting you. So this is what I'm advising to our PMS clients. This is exactly what I'm doing in my personal portfolio. This is exactly what I will do. I'll advise you. See, remember again, I'm giving Vijay Kedia his made statement. Be mentally prepared that you may invest and script may go down. Better to live with that regrets rather than not investing and then seeing the script going up by 15-20%. Regret number 1 is much better as compared to regret number 2. I'm very happy today. I'm getting a very intelligent question. Same George. This is a hypothetical question. If you were the FM or PM, is there anything you can do to help the markets? See, I think we had started becoming a little overreacting. Am I right in terms of our... what has happened to the market? Market moved up and taken some healthy corrections. Does it call for any extra measures to be done? It's not that we have lost 10% from the of the market. YTD we are not minus 10%, am I right? So why this kind of a panic? I don't know. Why? I understand your hypothetical question. But does it call for any special action from the FM or PM? Answer is no. If I am a FM or PM, I would not do anything. Yes, if I am a PM, I am a FM, I will see how I can improve the growth of the economy, which in turn will help the market. Of course, maybe with a lag effect. But I don't think that we are in a firefighting mode. We need to do something which is urgently, which calls for it. I don't think so. As an FM and as a PM, if I would have been there, my job is to keep growing the economy, irrespective of what the sentiment in the market is. It's a continuous effort. And that's what I would be doing. But getting too much worried about this minor correction happening in the market, I don't think is at all warranted. I think we wanted healthy correction in the market. Why? Because the speculative element has gone so much high, which needs to, otherwise what would happen? In fact, if you read the between the lines of a commentary from the Minister of Finance, the Finance Minister as well as the SEBI chairperson, they did mention that somewhere the savings which are there is going in the wrong direction of investing in the FN on people losing money, which is not good for the economy in the medium to long term. Am I right? So I think this is what is happening is healthy. And for something which is happening healthy, why someone should overreact to it? I don't think so. Many people are asking what are the questions. First I thought, is this the name and surname? But I think I will just comment. What are the sectors to buy now? My personal opinion, not Mojo PMS opinion, or not Markets Mojo opinion also. IT sector looks little promising to me. Why? The rupee is depreciated, so that should benefit them because they may all normally earns in dollar. AI should act as a business opportunity also and cost cutting also. Number 3, the demand outlook, which looks extremely promising. Though if you happen to listen to the commentary, they have been quite encouraging. Second thing, private sector banks. Within that, some of the banks which are not taken too much exposure to the unsecured loans and they perform little poorly, but I think they've taken a very conscious decision. I think that will now pay off because I do believe unsecured loans is becoming a little problematic, not only for banks but also for the NBFCs. So go for those kind of a private sector banks which have taken a conscious decision to restrict their unsecured book. I think they would do well. So Bank Nifty can outperform going forward. I do believe the FMCG valuations have become a little more, of course the story has not been so great, so little ahead of the curve, but I think FMCG should do well. I think pharma should reasonably, they have done well, I think they should continue to do well. So these are the 4-5 sectors I believe. And remember, these are big sectors which can absorb big amount of money. These are the sectors that can do well going forward. And of course, my sector's outlook for 2025 anyway will come either next month, end of next month or the beginning of January. So there I'll revisit those. Sagar sir is saying, if we are fully invested, what should be your strategy? When we see the market, it fears more, so should we stop watching market or sometime, and how much pain more left according to you? Maybe your year-end target is coming near. I do have some FD, and if market levels are good, do you feel this is the right time to deploy some portion of FD funds to equity, or should we wait more as the more pain is left? Very interesting question. I think, sir, the question that you ask, many people are also trying to find out the answer to this question. So let me go. If you are fully invested, what should be your strategy? If you are fully invested, look at the stocks that you are investing in your portfolio. Should you exit that company or not? Go back to the very first question, why did you buy that company? The reason why you bought that company continues to remain that please hold that company. But the story has undergone change. Please make room for the new company to come in if you are fully invested. Now, after doing the exercise, you think that all my companies which I bought it are perfectly fine. The reason I bought this company that continue to remain there. Please stay away from the market. Stop watching TV channels. Sometimes business channels will make you hyperactive. In fact, I've suggested our PMS investors don't look at the portfolio also on a daily basis. Please stop looking at your portfolio also on a daily basis, because that will make you more sentimental. So that's what you should do. Is it the more pain is left? Yes, mid and small cap. Yes, not so much in the large cap. That's what if now you ask me the question about FD. Sagar said, I don't know whether you attended my webinars, but I've time and again constantly say, the money that you should put in FD are those money to meet your emergency funds or contingency funds. What that contingency fund should be? Minimum 3 years or 5 years of your expenses. Because equity is all about medium term to long term. It's never about 1 year, 2 years. It's minimum 3 to 5 years. So money that you have put in FD are those money which is not emergency money that can come. But if it is emergency fund, even if the market corrects by 50% and looks very tempting, please don't do that also. So that's where the discipline comes in. The FD is a function of, is it emergency fund or is it not an emergency fund? If it is emergency fund, irrespective of what happens to the market, don't bring that FD, don't break that FD. Be it in the FD. With non-emergency fund, it can come to the market. I hope I have answered your question. It's satisfied, yes, we are. Mahesh is saying, other than Mohit and Sunil, other because are immature, not enough skill. I skipped them, and that's the reason I did not renew recently despite good offer by Markets Mojo. Mahesh ji, assume that, two of us are there. In fact, I tend to disagree with you. The other speakers are equally talented, equally good. See, everyone cannot be of the same caliber. They may be, you need to give them time. They are little new, they are young. So, but they are capable of doing the webinar. That's why they are in front of you. But having said that, sir, try to understand at least Mohit and Sunil, either of us, in front of you at least 3 times in a week, which is good enough for you to this one. So hence, not to renew subscription because of this one, I don't think it's a very appropriate. My request would be, sir, if that's the only reason you have not renewed, please renew that. I think we want you to reap the benefits of the strong advisory that we have in our platform. Other than webinars, we do have a model portfolio. We have Mojo stocks. We have Mojo One strategy. We have stock of the week. We have stock of the month. Why not to use that? We have score on each and every company. Why to miss out on that? So my request would be, sir, if you are not renewed, please renew it. Sunil ji, we are missing discussion on stocks and stocks a specific question and answer as you move to PMS. Please note that Mojo score alone is not sufficient to decide. My request is accept you if other senior experience and seasoned expert members of Mojo can take stock specific question in the webinar. It will help a lot. Please restore the stock specific question answer. Point taken, sir. I'll speak with Mohit if he can take up, if someone else can give stock specific answer or not. Have a restriction by the compliance team where I cannot take up question answer session. So you are right. But if you ask me very frankly, Mojo score should be good enough for you to answer all your query. But nonetheless, I'll speak internally and let's see what best we can do about it. Point taken. Can we have last 3 questions in the interest of the time? Because it's already 8:15. I don't want your family members to curse me. Kirti Kumar saying, one thing I would like to ask, that Market Mojo team is not advising for active profit booking. Please consider this as your more knowledgeable expert than us. I think we do have a profit booking as a criteria. I think some of the stock of the month that we recently closed has been as a part of a profit booking. If you can be more elaborate in terms of what exactly you mean to that, by Mojo team, which segment we are not doing profit booking. I think one of the stock of the week will also close as a part of the profit booking strategy. So please elaborate on that, and we'll definitely consider your request, sir, or we can answer accordingly that. Last 2 questions. Rahul Kumar, should we diversify with 20 large cap stocks or concentrate with just 8 or 10 mega cap? So it's all depending upon what stock you are holding in that 8 to 10 mega large cap. Am I right? Also is a function of what is your risk appetite. So unless I know your risk appetite, it's become extremely difficult for me. Unless I know which 8, 10 stocks you are holding in your portfolio, it's become extremely difficult. Not necessarily all mega cap can perform. Asian Paints is a classical example, am I right? So not necessarily. So I think it's also a function of risk appetite, risk stock composition. I think the question is too generalized. I will not be able to give any specific advice to you, Rahul Kumarji. Last question, please. Vikas is saying, I admit that due to the fear I have exited all my portfolio 15% profit and could not gather the courage to return. Should I invest bonds or gold, etc., or should I wait? Vikasji, you are behaving like a typical retail investor. Nothing wrong with it. That's how the retail investors behave. Because of fear and because of greed. They do something which doesn't allow them to create wealth from the equity market. My request would be as follows now. I know you have exited from the market. Please re-enter the market. If you don't have a courage to put all money, please put 50% now, 50% 2 months down the line. That's what my advice would be. So please, and don't repeat this mistake. And my request to all of you, what mistake Vikas ji has made, you can learn from his mistake. You don't have to necessarily make your mistake on your own to learn that. It's good to also learn from other people's mistake also. So my request, all of you, do not get fearful. Do not get exit from the market. Market will reward us very handsomely in next 3 to 5 years. How do we behave? How do we control our emotions in the short term is very, very critical. We are all going to create huge wealth from the equity. Do not even think of getting out of the market and exiting 100%. It will be foolish. You will repent your decision. Mark down my words on 13 November 2024. Do not exit from the market in the panic. This same market will reward us handsomely. Don't be the victim of recency bias. There is nothing wrong with India's fundamental story. The same FIIs which have been sold in this market will come back very strongly in 2025, which is just 1.5 months away. There is no change in the growth story of India Inc. There is no change in the growth story of Indian economy. If that is so, why to get panic? कभी कोई अच्छा बैट्समैन भी 0 में आउट हो जाता है ना. Should you disown that cricketer, batsman? नहीं ना. So be sensible. Do not allow emotions to get impact your decision making. Remain calm and composed. And if you can't stomach the volatility, stop watching portfolios. Stop watching the business channels. That's the best advice I can give you. And please come and attend our webinars. At least it will calm you down. And it will help you to take investment decision in a more matured manner. With this, thanks a lot everyone taking time out. Tomorrow, I'm in front of our PMS customers with some interesting data points. Please, those who are PMS investors, please come and join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night. Take care.